Tokenized stocks have officially been launched, Solana is getting an ETF tomorrow, and Chainlink and Aptos are making big moves within the government at the same time. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when I drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, altcoinbuzz.io, and as always, not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Alright, good morning, you guys. So Bitcoin is starting to break down a little bit this morning. It's not the end of the world. The fact that we closed multiple daily candles above this is very bullish. We could still come all the way down here towards like 103-ish thousand and still be making new higher lows and still be in a bullish uptrend. Ideally, we don't want to go that low, but it is completely possible as long as we, don't break down below this $98,000 zone. Then we are still totally fine, and we're starting to shift towards bullish market structure, at least on the daily time frame. So overall, still totally fine. We do have Jerome Powell speaking today, which is part of the reason probably that markets are starting to cool off a little bit. We have Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaking today. We're also in a new quarter and also in a new month. So there is a lot of volatility that comes with the last day of the month and the first day of the month. And we also have Fed rate cut expected this October. Justin Julius Baer expects the Fed to begin cutting rates in October with 4 25 basis point cuts, lowering the Fed's fund rate from 4.5% to 3.5% by March 2026. Fading inflation risks are driving the move, but 3% inflation may pause cuts. So if we do start to get more cuts this October, that actually lines up really well with the Q4 this year being a new all-time high for Bitcoin and kind of being, what we expect it to be the Bitcoin cycle theory, where Bitcoin then goes and, makes new highs in November, December, and then starts to fade off towards the first quarter and second quarter of next year. Then we have Rex Osprey Solana ETF with staking to go live for trading this Wednesday. So this happened yesterday, this announcement that, Solana ETF with staking is going live tomorrow. We also have Robinhood launches ETH and Solana staking at the same time. And LA Charts says this number of wallets holding over 0.1 Solana has hit a new all-time high, surpassing 11.44 million people. So we have a lot of people holding at least 0.1 Solana. We also have Mert saying Solana RWA scene is growing fast. For stables, Visa, PayPal, Societe Generale, Stripe, and most recently, Fiserv. For RWAs, BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, Vanek, Superstate, Apollo, Hamilton Lane, R3, and even on-chain Uranium. And the biggest news of the day, Solana says tokenized stocks are now live on Solana, with Kraken FX and xStocks Fi, 55 plus US equities like Tesla and Nvidia can now be traded on Solana, fast, global, self-custodied. Internet capital markets powered by Solana. So we have Marty Party saying here, TLDR on xStocks launching today enables 24/7 tokenized equity trading on Solana, transforming global capital markets and financial accessibility. The partnerships with Kraken and BYDFi exchanges integrate with major Solana DeFi protocols, provides access to over 55 tokenized assets, including Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, and Amazon, utilizes Solana's SPL token standard for blockchain native equity representations with one-to-one backing, employs Chainlink's price feed for secure price data and proof of reserve for backing verification, enables instant settlement through atomic transactions, eliminating counterparty risk, allows 24/7 trading access, expanding market accessibility beyond trading hours. Now, Solana pumped on this news yesterday, but it is retracing the move now. But I will say it's not terrible because overall, this is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see a bit of a retest. We just didn't think that this pump would happen yesterday because they announced that the ETF would be launching on Wednesday. But overall, this looks pretty bullish to me. If we can come down here and retest around 144, 145, if we can hold up here, we are making, higher lows and higher highs, and we're starting a bullish market structure shift back to the upside. So I think this is pretty bullish for Solana. I would be looking to take any trades from here with stops below, 136, because if we break down below here, we're going to be, basically negating the bullish market structure change, and we're going to be heading back down. So we don't want to go below 137, but I do see us, if we hold up here around 145, we're heading back towards 165 very soon as the next major level of resistance, and above that back to 180, 185. And also attached to the tokenized stocks, we have Chainlink, who says, we're excited to join the xStocks Fi lines as the official Oracle infrastructure, powering the price of all xStocks tokenized equities and ETFs, including 50 plus of the world's largest equities and ETFs. This marks a major leap in the convergence of TradFi and DeFi, making tokenized stocks accessible across the globe and usable within DeFi. Chainlink developed custom xStocks data streams, a bespoke Oracle solution powered by Chainlink data streams that delivers high on-chain data accuracy, sub-second price latency, and the ability to verify corporate actions in real time. xStocks is also expanding its adoption to include the Chainlink interoperability and data standards, including Chainlink CCIP and proof of reserve. With Chainlink CCIP live on Solana, xStocks will be able to easily expand to other blockchains across the multi-chain ecosystem, while Chainlink proof of reserve can bring increased transparency and reliability to the collateralization of xStocks, which is the biggest thing. We need to have backed one-to-one stocking for everything if we want this to work right. Then we also have CryptoEd saying, just went deep on the link, Chainlink's new automated compliance engine, or ACE. This could be the key to unlocking 100 trillion plus in institutional capital on-chain. Built on Chainlink, ACE brings modular, cross-chain compliance infrastructure to both TradFi and DeFi. Plug in KYC, AML, ID, and policy rules, everything. Link isn't just powering oracles anymore, it's becoming a backbone of on-chain finance. And Chainlink also now powers about 83% of Ethereum's oracle infrastructure, securing over $60 billion in DeFi. This cryptographic backbone underpins Ethereum's DeFi, enabling trust-minimized lending, trading, stablecoins, and more with verifiable truth. So Chainlink, in addition to Solana, is benefiting from this. I will say its price looks okay here. We wanted to see it come up a little bit higher and then retest this level. But the fact that we haven't broken down here yet is kind of bullish. We are just kind of hovering here at this level. This is an area where ideally you would want to be buying if you expect it to go higher. You really don't want to break down below here. So you could do something like this with us going back to the next level of resistance around at 17.5 and a stop below these levels here, somewhere like that. I think it's pretty good trade for Chainlink as long as we don't break down below here. But I will say we have to kind of see if Bitcoin wants to hold up today. And if it doesn't, if we have bad news from, Jerome Powell or something like that, it is possible we head back down below here. So this isn't one that I'd necessarily be taking, but it is a possibility. And this is exactly where you would want to be buying Chainlink because you have a clear invalidation rate here below this level at around $10.92. So Chainlink looking okay, not the best, not the worst, but this is an area. It's kind of its last level of support before we go down below. And if we are to pump, it will be from right around here. Hey Americans, we found an exchange that gives you the best of both worlds. Want to trade spot markets on over 400 trading pairs and without KYC? You can. Want to trade perpetual markets on over 150 trading pairs with KYC that accepts Americans and Canadians as well? You can. The only exchange we've seen in the market that lets you do both simple spot trading without KYC and perps trading with KYC that Americans can use is BYDFi. And they have a great new promotion going on right now where you earn more for depositing more money into your BYDFi account. BYDFi has a great new program for new users. So if you don't have an account yet and you've been thinking about getting a new one, now's the time. For smaller traders, deposit up to $1,000 and get up to $200 as a bonus. And for whales, for deposits of $5,000 up to $20,000, you can earn as much as $2,000 in extra cash in your account to trade with. But then it gets even better. If you sign up for a new account, you can join the new Telegram group where BYDFi gives you actionable news and trading signals. It's an exclusive trading signals group just for the Altcoin Buzz community. You get market analysis and news, as well as trading signals specifically for swing trading or scalp trading. So sign up for a BYDFi account today, earn extra cash in your account, and get access to our exclusive trading signals and news group, and deposit now to get your bonus, link down below. And then moving on to Aptos, we have the United States of Aptos. Co-founder and CEO of Aptos Labs, Avery Ching, joins the CFTC, GMA Digital Asset Market Subcommittee. So Avery will collaborate with other leaders from Web3 and financial services to help shape the digital asset regulation. So, Aptos is now joining the CFTC, which is kind of really bullish for Aptos in terms of not being a security, because if Aptos is with the Commodities Futures Trade Commission, then they will be most likely to be listed as a commodity, which will be a lot easier to get ETFs, which is ultimately bullish for Aptos. We also have SB saying Aptos has shown a rebound in new user acquisition over the past month. Additionally, the number of transactions has been steadily increasing since April. In non-EVM environments, particularly with the Move language, users interact with modules. Therefore, when counting based on modules, we discover active dApps. What I've confirmed this time is that gaming is showing strong metrics, and on the DeFi side, Hyperion's swap batch is operating frequently. Aptos summer season. We also have Nansen saying devs on Aptos just shipped 1,200 plus contracts in a single day, the biggest deployment spike in the past 30 days. That's a 6x jump on the weekly average. Momentum is building. And Zachary says trading volume on Aptos is 98x more than where it was at the beginning of last year. At the same time, we have Satoshi Club saying Aptos jumped over 36% from $3.66 to $5 in less than 24 hours. The move came after Aptos Labs and Jump Crypto announced Shelby, a decentralized cloud storage network built for Web3, AI, and deepen apps. Now, this was the pump from Aptos, and it came right into this next level of resistance, and we wanted to see it break above here to change into a bullish market structure. We wanted to create a new higher high, and it didn't do that. It broke into this, it closed below, and it now looks like we're heading back down below. So we haven't confirmed into a bullish market structure. You can actually see kind of visually we're in a downtrend right now, even though I don't like to use these lines too much. You can kind of visually see we are still in a downtrend, and we have to break back above here to create this new uptrend. So ideally, Aptos will not break below here. This is its next level of support here. So if we hold above here, then we can start to make new highs above here, hopefully. But if we start to lose this level here down below $4.30 to around $4.20, if we start to lose this level, most likely we're coming back down here and making new lows, which we don't want to see. So ideally, we have to hold here to at least make a new higher low. And then ideally, we come back above here, above $5.20 and start to make new higher highs. So I don't want to get involved in Aptos just yet until we break back above here and start to make new highs. I wouldn't get involved in Aptos. But if you are in Aptos and you want to see a hold, you really need to hold above this level of $4.30. Otherwise, we're going to lose that. We're going back down here below $4.75 pretty quickly, which is one of the lows. I mean, after we lose this level, it's $3, and then after that, on this chart at least, there's not much down here below here. So we don't want to be losing these levels. Even though Aptos is making what seems like pretty big moves, it's not something to get involved in just yet. And moving on to Ethereum, we have Fundstrat's Tom Lee says Ethereum is the new Bitcoin. So he said this:
the financial services industry and crypto are converging. And it really started with stablecoins, which is the ChatGPT of crypto, right? Because it's viral adoption by consumers, businesses, banks, and now even Visa. Underneath the stablecoin industry is Ethereum. That is really like the backbone and architecture of stablecoins. So it's important to create a project that essentially accumulates Ethereum to essentially protect and have some influence on the network. So that's why we're creating this treasury vehicle to buy Ethereum. The more Ethereum that's accumulated, the more secure the network is. And I think it's also sort of the architecture that future banks will have. When Goldman issues a stablecoin and JP Morgan doing it on Ethereum, as a layer one blockchain, they're going to want to secure it by staking Ethereum. So we're trying to get in front of that by creating a treasury vehicle.
Now, Ryan Sean Adams says the ETH thesis for Fundstrat is simple. He's front-running ETH accumulation by the banks. Why is Tommy Lee converting a Bitcoin mining company to an Ethereum treasury and staking company? Simple. The banks will have stablecoins. The stablecoins will deploy on Ethereum, and so the banks will acquire and stake ETH to secure their stablecoins. First, commercial banks buy and stake, then central banks buy and stake ETH. ETH becomes a world reserve asset. He's front-running the obvious ETH accumulation trend, just as he did with Bitcoin many years ago. And Raoul Paul says, I did say that corporate world will generally choose Ethereum. Was obvious, and won't be exclusive to Ethereum, obviously. Bitcoin is a reserve asset, and the others are tokenized network technologies. We also have Altcoin Daily saying Ethereum just hit a record 1.45 million daily transactions. The last time this happened was 2021. We also have Quinton saying a biggest ETH accumulation in history. Obviously, now that Tommy Lee has gone out and said this, we can kind of see why. Tommy Lee converting this, he's one of the biggest kind of Wall Street, whisperers, I guess you could say. He's a big CNBC contributor, so when everyone watches that, it's kind of like you can kind of see now why ETH has been slowly been accumulating over the past couple months. We also have SharpLink Gaming has bought almost 5,000 ETH worth 12.34 million today. Now holds over 200,000 ETH worth $500 million. And lastly, Bit Digital raises $150 million through a new public offering to buy ETH for its treasury. So companies are starting to buy Ethereum. Even though it's not my favorite, I can see what they are doing. It has been accumulating in this kind of range for a bit now. Between around 2,400 and around 2,700. So we really need this level to hold here, because if this level doesn't hold as a new level of support around 2,390, if this doesn't hold, we are most likely going back down under here. So most likely something like this. And we're probably going to retest this at least around 2,100, which is what we do not want. So with this new kind of, Tommy Lee Fundstrat accumulation strategy, hopefully ETH can finally break back above this main level around 2820. If we can break back above here, it is a lot more bullish, but ideally once we break above 3,000, it'll be a lot more bullish for me, and we'll finally get back into the 3,000s. Nothing to do too much right here unless you want to long this, but you really need to see this hold up today along with Bitcoin. You could do something like this where you have your stops below this level here and then you target new highs, but you have to really expect a breakout here, otherwise the risk reward isn't really worth it. So pretty much just waiting for Ethereum to break back above, at the very least, this level here around 2560. If we can start to break back above there, it'll start to have a little bit of bullishness to me. So nothing that I would do right now. We kind of want to wait and see if this level does hold, because if it doesn't, I think it goes down here pretty quickly. But that is the video for today, guys. As Bitcoin slowly kind of just hovers around this main level, nothing too concerning just yet. If we start to break down below here and we can't hold around $103,000, if we start to break down below here, it's not looking too good, and we might be coming back down here again. But even if we do come down to around 103, 104, it could still be making a higher low and be going back up towards the range highs. But again, it is still the summer. It is, July. There's not as much volume as there typically is in the markets. So it is possible that we are just kind of chopping around in this area. We might do something like this for a couple months until we finally get the strength to break out, or we get some kind of new catalyst that takes us out of here. So unfortunately, kind of a slow day, it seems like, in terms of price action, just kind of slow bleed across the markets. But hopefully it picks up towards the end of the week. And hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. That is the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.